Hello, scholars, and welcome back. This is week 3 of POL450, Research Methods for Political Science. I hope week 2 treated you well as we dove into the IRB process here at CBU and how we apply that to academic research. This week, we're going to switch gears and move back towards building those pieces of our perspective. In week 1, we were asked to submit 5 topics of possible research topics or research criteria that you were interested in, and for each one of you, I gave feedback on what if it worked, if it didn't work, and for all of you, which topic I enjoyed the most. And although you have the option to use any of your topics, most understand that this week we'll need to narrow it down to one topic as we move forward, and then start utilizing that topic into the key portions of this week. So if we look at our agenda, we're going to start with our reading assignments this week. We're in chapters 2 and chapters 4. We have a PowerPoint lecture on operationalizing variables, which is going to be a key topic, and we'll dive deeper into that. We have a PowerPoint lecture on writing your research question, which once again will be a huge portion of this week's work. And then we need to continue to work on our annotated bibliography, get the research going on that. And then we have 3 deliverables: written assignment 3, application exercise 3, and week 3 journal. And I'll go into more detail with each one of those. But for our first PowerPoint, it's on concepts, operationalization, and measurement. And I've included a PowerPoint video here that goes over operationalizing variables. And it's going to be a key concept that you're going to need to become clear on. Often early on, I didn't really understand what operationalizing variables meant, but it became apparent that it's a very key concept to academic research. And I'll just throw a very generic statement out to you, and you can understand the importance of it. Are vitamins good to take? That could be a very acceptable research study. There's 2 variables in there that would probably be, or maybe even 3, that you would definitely need to take some time to operationalize. The first one would be vitamins, and that would be pretty easy. You could make a list of what a vitamin is. Is it a vitamin? Is it a mineral? Is it a supplement? You could make a list of, these are the actual vitamins that I'm studying. At the end of it, to take, would this be, you could easily determine that for the case of the study, take means that you, as a pill form, or they're injectables, or whatever you want to use. But the beauty is you have the ability to choose. Where the very difficult word in that is the word good. Are vitamins good to take? How are you going to define what good is? And for many of our questions, we keep these variables, or we use variables like that because we allow it to be up to other people's interpretation. But for this study, and for when you're doing academic research, you need to make it very clear when you write things that how you are going to operationalize each of your variables. And there's a good video on here that will help walk you through there. The next part is our PowerPoint lecture on writing a research question. This PowerPoint is very short, but you should help you to get started writing a research question. You only need one research question, and let's make that clear. Only one research question. This assignment is not about any questions, but you will ask participants, but it represents the one major thing you need to answer your research question. I've also posted a document that gives you some pointers on narrowing your topic that will also help you refine your writing of your research question. So we have your research question PowerPoint. And that will transition directly into our week 3 assignment. For week 3 assignment, it's going to be due as they always are at the end of the week, so Sunday by 11:59. There's 25 points that are possible. And for this, I ask you for this week, you will write a problem statement, a purpose statement, and begin to write the research question or hypothesis. Framing the problem statement in the research question is one of the most difficult research tasks that any researcher faces. Therefore, be prepared to spend a substantial amount of time and thought in completing this exercise. A good problem statement or research question will make the rest of the paper flow smoothly, An ill-informed or poorly worded question will complicate the rest of the writing process. The details of the assignment and structure are given below. In addition, pay particular attention to Table 2.4 in your textbook to show how a research question is generated from a topic. So here we go. The structure of the assignment. I want you to define the problem. Why are you doing this study? Describe the purpose of the study. Keep in mind it is hard to prove or explain. Very rarely will we ever be able to prove or explain anything. You are much better off to use things like I'm exploring my topic. Define the concepts that you'll be discussing. Define and operationalize the variables that can be measured, and give your expectations about how the variables are related in the form of a research question. The key to the fifth portion of this: give your expectations about how the variables are related in the form of a research question. You need to write a research question, and because of that, it needs to be a question. It needs to be in question format, and just ensure that at the end of this, there is a clear and concise, measurable, simple research question that you're going to be writing on your topic. And I've broken down this little example for you. So the problem: California is in the middle of a serious drought, and local governments are looking for ways to conserve water supplies. One tactic they use by city and county administrators is asking residents to cut back on their water usage. However, this tactic had mixed results. Some residents have managed to cut their water usage, and some have chosen not to restrict. So the purpose of this study is to explore the reasons that the residents of Riverside County choose to restrict or choose not to restrict their water use. The concepts that are gonna need to be defined is what is actual drought and what is actual water usage. Some of the variables: drought should have a legal or scientific definition and will need to be researched. Water usage is defined in acre feet per family that will need to be researched. The expectations leading to a research question: I expect to find that there are various reasons that residents have or have not changed their water usage. Some of these reasons may be philosophical or economical or cultural. My first formation of a research question is: have the residents of Riverside County, California, changed their water usage habits over the past year, or have they chosen not to change their water usage over that same period of time, and what reasons do they give for their decision? So you can see that I'm very specific in my location. I'm very specific over the period of time. They either have or they haven't, and they're going to give me an explanation why. So you can see that those are the 6 parts that we're looking for. And with each one of these, you want to write these out, because each of these are going to be a portion of your prospectus. Once again, 15 points that you would get all the portions, and 10 points for writing the grammar citations and references. Our next deliverable is going to be our application exercise. For this week, this quiz will give you an opportunity to practice operationalizing the variables for your study. Remember, independent variables are variables that you, the researcher, can manipulate or change. Dependent variables are variables that change in response to the change in the independent variable. There is no time limit on this quiz, but you must be completed once it's begun. This quiz may be repeated one time for a higher score if you wish. So 2 attempts at this. It's all about operationalizing, but once you start it, have some time management, ensure that you can finish in one setting. And finally, week 3 journal. Ask a few questions for you to reflect back on your IRB process from week 2. Prior to last week's assignment, were you aware of the IRB at CBU? Now that you've completed the IRB exercise, do you have a better understanding of the importance or rigor and ethical oversight in academic research? And finally, how would you explain the role and importance of the IRB to a fellow student who has not yet embarked on a research study? Remember, journals are one-to-one communication, as if you were talking to me personally. But understand, I want substantial amount of information. I want you to answer all these questions. And there's the rubric that follows. So there you are. There is our week 3 with our 3 deliverables: written assignment 3, application exercise 3, and week 3 journal. I ask you this: take time, put the work in this week. This is probably the most difficult week. If you can get a very clear and concise problem statement, purpose statement, and research question, the rest of this assignment is going to fall in very nicely. So with that said, I look forward to reading all of your assignments here in week 3. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, anything at all, reach out to me and we'll get those all solved. But once again, if you do have problems and you're not reaching out to me, that's where the problem lies. I don't believe there's anything that we can't solve as long as we're communicating. So make sure that you communicate. And if not, stay safe, stay healthy. I know that things are ramping up all over our community. Do everything you can to stay safe so that we once again can all move forward healthily and to put all of this hard work into motion someday. So take care. I'll keep you in my thoughts and prayers, and I can't wait to all talk to you again next week. Bye for now.